So, welcome back to the Beast Game Podcast. This is a review for Ingrid Goes West. It's directed by Matt Spicer. The writers are David Branson Smith and Matt Spicer. It stars Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen, and Osage Jackson Jr. The synopsis is, an unhinged social media stalker moves to LA and insinuates herself into the life of an Instagram star. The movie starts off with a monologue. It's Ingrid writing a letter to her friend. She's lonely, she's very socially awkward. Her mother just passed away. Her release to escape reality and her problems is through social media. Since she likes Instagram, she finds a social media influencer, a word that I really hate, a person named Taylor Sloan, who is Elizabeth Olsen's character. And she starts commenting on all of her photos and then decides to friend her. Ingrid just becomes so obsessed with doing everything that Taylor Sloan likes, food, hairstyle. She decides to take the life insurance money that she received from her mother's death, which was about $60,000, and decides to move to LA. She creates a Instagram social media account detailing her travel going west. So once she gets to LA, she meets up with Dan Pinto, who is Osage Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, and he wants to be a screenwriter. He's also really obsessed with Batman. He is Ingrid's landlord. He rents her a room. From there, she goes from place to place. Every place that Taylor Sloan likes, she goes there. She takes on her hairstyle, her clothing. And then Ingrid encounters Taylor Sloan, and that's where we'll stop. I'm very big into independent movies, a little bit more so than the other people from the Beast Gang. From a very personal perspective, that I was really into this movie. This movie speaks on a lot of issues that plague today's society about social media and how people use social media to gain self-confidence. The way that Matt Spicer, Aubrey Plaza play that out on the screen is done extremely well. What you see from this movie is this pretend culture that social media gives to people. This very fake, inauthentic life that forces people to brag and boast about things, what they do, how they live, and it is a problem. And this movie really touches on a lot of that. And also, it's kind of an indictment to hipster culture, which is another problem. I will say that Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen, and Osage Jackson Jr., OMG, if you understand his rap name, they all do an admirable job of really encompassing those qualities for the people that live that lifestyle. This movie is a dramedy. It doesn't focus on comedic beats, but it lets it play itself out. That you understand people aren't ad-libbing, people aren't trying to be funny. It's just that the way that the material is written is funny. So it doesn't try to do something like The Hangover or any weird thing like that, but oddly enough, I was the only person in the theater when I went to go see this movie. And it's a movie I wish more people would go out to the theaters to see. It really speaks to society itself. Just purporting to be someone you're not. This culture where you have to expose people. Where you have to tell people about themselves. It goes into how people are very obsessed with their phones and taking photos and selfies. Those are the problems with social media. And one of the things I would like to say is that for Osage Jackson Jr. to have done this type of movie is a launching pad for his career. Oddly enough, every mannerism that Ice Cube would have in a comedy movie happens in this movie. It's a very good movie the way that it's written, because I had a problem with the ending, and I wrote a note to myself saying that, the movie's about to end. It felt empty. As I was coming home from the movies, I realized it was supposed to be like that just because of how Aubrey Plaza's character is supposed to be. It's not a happy ending. It's not where she comes to a place of acceptance. It's that she comes to a place where she wants more of it. And the more that I thought about it, the more I liked that ending. For a score, I give this movie a 7.5. Again, I had some issues with the end. It could have been a little bit funnier at times, but the way that the movie plays out is something that I appreciate. It really speaks to me from my perspective on the world. Another thing that I would like to say is that the cast for this, at least the main cast, is really small. there's only maybe about 8 to 10 characters that have speaking lines, which is actually pretty good. This movie is a very easy watch. It's only about an hour and a half. So that's the Beast Game Podcast. You can find more of our podcasts at beastgame.com, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Twitter, and YouTube.